If you missed part one of today's episode, then you might want to go back and find out what I'm doing. Otherwise, if you just want to stay in the dark, you're welcome to. I am here now working on Clayboard, ampersand Clayboard, wearing a glove to protect the surface. Don't ask me in the comment why I'm wearing the glove, because I just told you. If you ask me, I know you didn't pay any attention to the video. You wouldn't believe how many times that happens. Okay, so I am doing etching. This is a tool made by whom? I don't even remember here. Oh, here's another. Oh, slightly different shape. There's no name on it. I bought an etching kit several years ago, and then developed my own kit. Oh, by the way, I don't. If you're an artist and you work in a number of mediums the way I do, you don't have to be like me. Thank God you don't have to be like me. But if you want to know how I work, let me grab some things here just to show you. I love being organized. I really do. And the main thing I do to be organized is to grab containers. So here's a small, says graphite kit. And that has everything I need, all kinds of pencils, erasers, sharpeners, so on and so on and so forth. A full complement of, 15 different hardnesses of graphite. That's a graphite kit. Here's my large charcoal kit. I have a small charcoal kit, and maybe even two smaller than that. I can't remember. Here's a big container of nothing but felt tip markers, and so on and so on. I have the same thing for a watercolor kit, and a calligraphy kit, and so on and so forth. So the containers are really cheap. While I'm at it, okay, over here, there's my big watercolor kit, and I have at least two other watercolor kits. I'm not saying this to make you buy stuff or envious, but to help you organize stuff. This is the way I do it. Scratch board, and it goes underneath my table over there, so I always know exactly where my scratch board stuff is. That's just me, and if you're like me, that might help you a little bit. I have kits for everything. So here I am. Just a few minutes ago, I used Universal Rapidograph Ultra Draw waterproof ink, right, on Clayboard. I applied that with looking for the brush now. Might have been this brush, Winsor Newton Series 7, nice brush. And now, of course, I'm scratching it off with this scratch board tool. And in my last episode, I went on for quite some time. It's always possible that I went on for too long. Let us just acknowledge that is always a possibility. I just wish he'd quit ranting about stuff, they say. They plaintively groan. Oh no, he's off again. Anyway, I ranted and raved for quite some time about the virtues and values of, as an artist, learning to work in many different mediums. And again, you English majors, I know the word is media in the rest of the world, but in the art world, I think it should actually be called mediums. That means many different techniques. And so doing scratchboard is great fun. And I contend that every time you learn any medium, new medium at all, it influences your home base, your core medium, in a good way. So that's all I'm going to say about that. This is great fun, and it achieves a very particular look that I'm after. Now, why am I after this particular look? Well, the reason is, of course, I'm designing a logo for myself, for my new business called The Joyful Artist Journey, and here's the illustration I showed in the last episode. Ignore those letters. I did this illustration for somebody else a couple years ago, and they never used it. So it's fair game. I can use it. They're never going to use it. And it's perfect because here's all these wild and crazy artist characters flying down the highway with a license plate, make art, and all these artists up here being joyful. And it's perfect because the name of my new business endeavor is Dan Nelson's Joyful Artist Journey. And I hope that you will stay on the journey with me. There's a free track, of course, there where I'll be giving away lots of good information, day by day, week by week, month by month. But of course, there will be also a for-pay, much more intensive and holistic, what's the word I'm looking for? Comprehensive in scope, art course for those of you who really want to take it further. So it's going to be called, again, Dan Nelson's Joyful Artist Journey. And just for what it's worth, a few minutes ago, yes, I procured the domain name, joyfulartistjourney.com. I don't know that I'll ever use it, but it's mine. Nobody can take it now, so that's mine. And my guess is we will use that. It'll be connected to dannelsonart.com. So once again, just a lot of fun. Fun doing the scratch board. Oh, if you want to see me do a really big scratch board, go to YouTube. You're already on YouTube, I understand that. Go to YouTube and do a search for Clayboard, one word, etching a selfie. That's what I called it. I did that several years ago. It explains in considerable detail how to do Clayboard illustrations. Here, I grabbed a couple out of my closet during the break. Here's a couple things that I did commercially. Again, several years ago. This is for a boat manufacturer, as is this. You know, the Clayboard, the scratching, it has a very particular look that I find, and a lot of people find fun, winsome, attractive. So if you want to see how to do, what kind of tool is this, and so on and so forth, the Clayboard etching a selfie. It's a portrait of me. It's self-portrait that I did for Jerry's Artorama catalog cover. I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. I actually did do 2 portraits, self-portraits, for Jerry's catalog covers. One is a self-portrait in 6 mediums. You can look for that on YouTube as well. Self-portrait in 6 mediums. And then, or maybe 6 media, I can't remember. I may have yielded to my English major brain and that I don't remember. And then there's the one, Clayboard etching a selfie. Okay. Delightful medium. And the reason I have to use it is because I have to match the style of this illustration. So I'll be taking these letters away, of course, and it'll be Dan Nelson's Joyful Artist Journey. That's enough for now. I'll bring you back in a little while when I'm putting it all together in Photoshop. And let me see if anybody left any comments here. Wow. Thank you. Somebody says wow from either Japan or China or Korea or somewhere. Thank you, whoever said that. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll be back later on today. And Toby says, hey, Dan. Thanks, Toby. Just shows up. Appreciate it. Good to hear from you guys. I'll be back on later today. And Nellie says, hi, Dan. Thank you. Keep those comments coming. I appreciate it. By the way, I don't know if you realize, I just learned yesterday how to pull up the comments that you made during the video. Boy, I'm glad I finally figured that out. Okay, talk to you later.